Good evening. You're watching Express News with me, Nancy Kohli. Let's take a look at all the top stories. The three-day-old BJP government in Karnataka, headed by B.S. Yediyurappa, today proved its majority in the truncated state assembly, winning the confidence motion by a voice vote in the smooth affair. After concluding the day's business, Speaker Ramesh Kumar tendered his resignation. He said he has decided to relieve himself from the office of the Speaker. He handed over his resignation letter to the Deputy Speaker Krishna Reddy. The three disqualified MLAs, two from Congress and one independent, moved Supreme Court, challenging Speaker's decision to disqualify them for the term of the present Assembly. President Ramnath Kovind is in Benin on the first leg of his three-nation tour to the West African region. The president was accorded a ceremonial welcome by President Talon of Benin at the Presidential Palace in Cotonou. India has decided to extend a credit line of $100 million to Benin, also decided to issue e-visa to the people of Benin. President Ramnath Kovind and the Benin president signed 4 MOUs. On International Tiger Day, Prime Minister Modi released the results of the 4th cycle of the All India Tiger Estimation. He hailed India's Sankalp Se Siddhi mantra that has led to a 33% increase in the tiger population in the country since 2014. The All India Tiger Estimation Report 2018 says India, with around 3,000 tigers, is one of the safest habitats for them in the world. This is an increase of 33% since 2014. 3/4 of the world's tigers can be found in India. Prime Minister Modi lauded the collective efforts of all the stakeholders that has resulted in the tremendous increase in tiger population. He described it as an apt example of Sankalp Se Siddhi. Prime Minister Modi said that India has emerged as a leader in the sphere of climate action. The country has achieved several global emission reduction and clean fuel goals much before the set deadlines. The Prime Minister also called for a balanced, smart and sensitive approach to conservation. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar said the whole world is watching as India takes a giant leap in the conservation of tigers. He said the country's forest cover has increased and India is walking on the path of sustainable development. Showcasing to the world India's rich environmental heritage as well as taking India's tryst with wildlife conservation and his own experiences to the global stage, Prime Minister Modi will feature in Discovery Channel's Man vs. Wild program. Samajwadi Party MP Azam Khan today apologized to Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla for his unparliamentary remarks against BJP member Rama Devi during the ongoing session of the House on 25th July. The Rajya Sabha today paid tributes to former Union Minister and Congress leader S. Jayapal Reddy, who had passed away. When the House met for the day, the chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu read out an obituary reference for the departed leader. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said that in the passing away of S. Jayapal Reddy, the country has lost a veteran parliamentarian, an outstanding orator and an able administrator. Jayapal Reddy had represented Andhra Pradesh in the upper house twice. Jayapal Reddy's last rites were performed today at the Necklace Road in Hyderabad. His remains were brought to Gandhi Bhavan, where the public paid their respects. He was accorded a state funeral. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today tabled the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Bill 2019 in the Rajya Sabha. With the effective steps taken by the government, the ease of doing business in India has improved considerably. Rajya Sabha has passed the Banning of Unregulated Deposit Schemes Bill 2019. The bill seeks to provide for a comprehensive mechanism to ban the unregulated deposit schemes other than deposits taken in the ordinary course of business and to protect the interest of depositors. Participating in the debate, Suresh Prabhu said it is a comprehensive bill which is a necessity for the economy, as this will help mobilize savings in regulated environment. In the Lok Sabha, Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat introduced the Dam Safety Bill 2019. It seeks to provide a legal and institutional mechanism to ensure safe functioning of dams in the country and related issues. The Lok Sabha has passed the National Medical Commission Bill. The bill seeks to repeal the Indian Medical Council Act 1956 and provide for reforms in the medical education system. The Supreme Court bench, headed by Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi, has agreed to hear a plea of fugitive economic offender Vijay Mallya, challenging the confiscation of properties belonging to the companies owned by him and his family members on the 2nd of August. Fagu Chauhan was sworn in as the 40th Governor of Bihar. He was administered the oath by the Patna High Court Chief Justice Amreshwar Pratap Sahi at a program held at the Raj Bhavan in the presence of Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and the Deputy Chief Minister Sushil Kumar Modi, besides several ministers. And the former Chief Minister of Gujarat, Anandiben Patel, today took oath as the Governor of Uttar Pradesh. The outgoing Uttar Pradesh Governor Ram Nayak attended the swearing-in ceremony of his successor. Anusuya Uke today took oath as the new Governor of Chhattisgarh. She was administered the oath of office in secrecy by Justice P.R. Ramachandra Menon, the Chief Justice of the High Court of Chhattisgarh. The 6th of the 8th indigenously built landing craft utility Mk4 class ship LCU L56 has been commissioned into the Indian Navy by the Vice Admiral Atul Kumar Jain, the Commander-in-Chief of the Eastern Naval Command at Visakhapatnam. ISRO in a tweet today informed that the third Earth-bound orbit-raising maneuver for Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft has been performed successfully at 15:12 hours Indian time as planned, using the onboard propulsion system for a firing duration of 989 seconds. The equity benchmark Sensex fell by 197 points today to close at 37,686, tracking weak global cues and unabated foreign fund outflows. The Nifty also fell 95 points to close at 11,189. The prices of gold dropped 50 rupees to 35,720 per 10 grams in the national capital owing to sluggish demand from jewelers. That's according to All India Sarafa Association. Silver also ended lower by 100 rupees to 41,900 rupees per kilogram due to reduced offtake by industrial units and coin makers. The rupee at the forex market appreciated marginally by 4 paise to around 68 rupees and 87 paise against the US dollar in the afternoon deal. Crude oil futures fell 0.36% to 3,855 rupees per barrel, in line with weak trends in the overseas markets. The GST Council has recommended a reduction in the GST rate on all the electric vehicles from 12% to 5% from the 1st of August. It also recommended a reduction in the GST rate for charger or charging stations from 18 to 5%. The auto industry has welcomed reduction in the GST on electric vehicles and chargers, saying it will help in increasing eco-friendly mobility. While terming the step as yet another bold move, the manufacturer sought similar reduction of the 18% GST on the spare batteries. In view of falling interest rate scenario and surplus liquidity, the State Bank of India announced reduction in the fixed deposit interest rates across all maturities. The new rates will be effective from the 1st of August. PNB Housing Finance has raised 690 crore rupees from International Finance Corporation under the central bank's automatic route for providing small and medium ticket housing loans. The official data has suggested that India needs to build 11 million houses in the affordable housing segment. The scientists at IIT Hyderabad developed low-cost, environment-friendly solar cells by employing an off-the-shelf dye used to make kumkum or vermilion in India. In order to get around limitations of using silicon, IIT Hyderabad team started working on solar cells based on organic material. The proposed suburban rail project for Bengaluru is likely to be integrated with at least 10 metro stations. The yet-to-be-approved project proposes 57 suburban railway stations covering a distance of 148 kilometers. PepsiCo India has announced its plans to invest 514 crore rupees to set up a greenfield snacks manufacturing plant in Uttar Pradesh. According to the company, the new investment plan is expected to help create over 1,500 jobs, both direct and indirect. Flipkart is all set to set up first furniture experience center in Bengaluru in order to offer a touch and feel experience to customers in the fast evolving online furniture market. Cisco has partnered with Google to roll out the free Hi-Fi free high-speed Wi-Fi across 200 locations in Bengaluru. The technology major said that these Wi-Fi zones will be in high-traffic areas like bus stops, hospitals and government offices. Currently, such zones are implemented across 25 locations in Bengaluru. Tesla CEO Elon Musk announced that the ability to stream YouTube and Netflix when a Tesla vehicle is not moving is coming soon. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has called for renewal of ties that bind United Kingdom as he embarks on a visit to Scotland. During his visit, he is expected to announce a £300 million of funding for Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. US President Donald Trump has announced that the US intelligence chief Dan Coats will leave office on 15th August. Trump tweeted that he plans to nominate Representative John Ratcliffe of Texas as the new Director of National Intelligence. US and Chinese trade negotiators shift to Shanghai this week for their first in-person talk since G20 summit last month, a change of scenery for two sides struggling to resolve deep differences on how to end a year-long trade war. China has expressed optimism that a consensus will be reached as US and Chinese trade negotiators shift to Shanghai this week for their first in-person talk since a G20 truce last month. From an airport city into violent clashes in a suburban area to aimless marches through busy shopping districts, the protest in Hong Kong does not seem to die down. Tens of thousands of demonstrators have taken over streets near Sai Wan and Causeway Bay on the Hong Kong island. China's central government has reiterated its support for Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam as well as the city's police and called on Hong Kong people to oppose violence following another weekend of clashes between protesters and the police. And amid the protests, the UAE has issued travel warning for Hong Kong. It has advised visitors to not wear black or white. The talks to try to save the Iran nuclear deal were held at an emergency meeting in Vienna amid rising tensions between Iran and the West. Iran said that the meeting between Tehran and its partners yielded positive developments but had not resolved everything. At the meeting, Iran, Germany, France, Britain, China, Russia and the European Union remained determined to save the deal. Ahead of an unprecedented snap polls on 17 September, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud party has put banners featuring his pictures with his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi, US President Donald Trump and the Russian President Vladimir Putin to lure support by presenting him in a different league. Campaigning for the Afghan presidential election in late September has started amid growing attacks and fear of fraud in the militant-plagued country. A total of 18 candidates, including incumbent President Mohammad Ashraf Ghani, embarked on a two-month campaign trail that will conclude on 25th September. Peruvian President Martin Vizcarra has proposed moving up legislative elections for Congress in 2020 amid his flagging effort to pass anti-corruption measures. The presidential term and the congressional term each last for 5 years and are both due to end in 2021. South Korea will release 3 North Koreans who crossed the maritime border aboard a fishing vessel at the weekend, South Korea's unification ministry has said. According to the ministry, the North Koreans on the vessel said during questioning that they had gone off course by mistake and wanted to return home. In Russia, the police have detained at least 12 people, including journalists who had gathered in front of the hospital where the Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny was being treated. The Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny is serving time in jail for calling for unauthorized protests, was hospitalized after suffering an acute allergic reaction. Navalny was jailed this week for 30 days for calling for an unauthorized march to protest against the exclusion of several opposition candidates from a local election later this year. Sudanese and South Sudanese officials have agreed with the leader of an alliance of armed factions operating along their joint border to extend a ceasefire and grant humanitarian access to some areas affected by conflict in Sudan. At least 20 people were killed and 50 others injured in the Afghan capital Kabul in a suicide bombing and gun battle at the vice presidential candidate Amrullah Saleh's office, the government said. And according to government, the Afghan forces killed 3 militants following the blast. Around 4 people were killed while 15 others were injured in a shootout at a food festival in California. The police chief Scott Speedy said that 4 people had been killed, including the suspected gunman. At least 65 people were killed after suspected Boko Haram militants opened fire on a funeral in Nigeria's northeastern state of Borno. In Syria, at least 13 civilians, including 5 children, were killed in Syrian government's airstrikes in Idlib province. The attacks came just a day after the UN human rights chief warned that those responsible for the latest wave of killings could be charged with war crimes. The death toll from the devastating landslide which hit southwest China's Guizhou province last week has risen to 38, with 13 people remaining missing. The disaster occurred nearby a local village in Sichuan County in Lippenshui City last Tuesday morning, burying over 20 houses and sparking a massive search and rescue operation. Many sun-scorched parts of Australia's east are continuing to cope with one of the worst droughts in decades, with the lack of rain now bringing the real threat of drinking water shortage in dozens of rural areas. The International Cricket Council officially launches the inaugural World Test Championship that will begin on the 1st of August. To be played over 2 years, the World Test Championship will witness the top 9 Test teams in the world compete in 71 Test matches across 27 series. 6-time world champion MC Mary Kom claimed the gold medal without breaking a sweat in the 23rd President's Cup boxing tournament, asserting a supremacy in a lopsided 51-kilogram bout final at Indonesia. And India's gold rush continued, with Simranjeet Kaur being equally impressive in her final match against Indonesia's Asian Games bronze medalist Hassanah Haswatan. The Asian Boxing Championship silver medalist dominated her opponent 5-0. In the 48-kilogram category, youngster Monica ended the challenge of Endang of Indonesia by a similar scoreline to round off what was a memorable campaign for Indian women pugilists. In the men's event, Neeraj Swami registered a 4-1 win over Mercado Junior Ramal of Philippines to clinch the gold medal in the men's 49-kilogram category. Ananta Prahlad Chopade also put up a strong performance and defeated Afghanistan's Rahmani Ramesh 5-0 in the final of the men's 52-kilogram category. Olympic champion Dalila Muhammad on Sunday set the world record in the 400 meters hurdles when she ran a blistering 52.2 seconds in the rain at the US National Championship. Muhammad's time smashed the previous mark of 52.34 seconds set by Russian Yulia Pechikyuna in 2003. Red Bull's driver Max Verstappen clinched the rain-hit German Grand Prix at Hockenheim on Sunday. Verstappen secured his second win of the season and 7th of his career, finishing ahead of the 4-time world champion Vettel, who had started 20th and last on the grid. Wrestlers Vinesh Phogat and Sakshi Malik qualify in the World Championship trials on Sunday. Vinesh and Sakshi had easy outing against their opponents. Meanwhile, World Championship bronze medalist Pooja Dhanda was sensationally knocked out by Sarita Moore. Sri Lanka chased down to 39 for victory in the second ODI of the 3-match series against Bangladesh at Colombo. Bangladesh put up 238 for 8 in the 50 overs. With this win, Sri Lanka have clinched the 3-match series, their first ODI series win at home in 44 months. Nicolas Basilashvili emerged victorious after a 3-set battle with Andrei Rublev to successfully defend his title at the German Tennis Championship. The reigning champion claimed his 12th straight win in Hamburg 7-5, 4-6, 6-3. PV Sindhu is eyeing her maiden title this year in the Thailand Open beginning in Bangkok tomorrow. Seeded 4th, Sindhu will open her women's singles campaign against unseeded Chinese Han Yu, whom she easily overcame in the first round of Japan Open. New Zealand announced their 15-member squad for the Test series against Sri Lanka. With the Test series, both New Zealand and Sri Lanka will start their journey in the World Test Championship. Kane Williamson will return to lead New Zealand team, this time in the game's longest format. Shahid Afridi turns back the clock with a whirlwind 81 of just 40 balls in the GT20 Canada for Brampton Wolves against Edmonton Royals. Walking into bat at number 5, He made 10 fours and 5 sixes en route, an explosive innings that held his team to a big total of 207 for 5. Afridi remained unbeaten with a strike rate of 202.5. Moussa Dembele Grace helps Lyon to victory against Arsenal in the pre-season friendly in London on Sunday. Arsenal lost to Lyon 2-1, where Moussa Dembele scored twice for Lyon while Pierre-Emerick found the back of the net for Arsenal. A day after Hockey India extended the deadline to apply for the post of India's junior men's coach, 2016 Junior World Cup winning coach Harendra Singh has now applied for the position after Jude Felix was asked to step down last month. Famous for his strict diet regimen and extreme level of fitness, Indian football team captain Sunil Chhetri, while visiting the Zinc Football Academy in Udaipur, guided the budding footballers that if you eat well and sleep well, your life will change, and that's my free advice, he said. It's a wrap for Amitabh Bachchan and Ayushmann Khurrana star Gulabo Sitabo. Big B took to Twitter to confirm the news and reveal his next venture, which is KBC Season 11. As Anil Kapoor and Arjun Kapoor star Mubaraka clocked 2 years today, the director hinted about the possible sequel of the film that will either be released on 25th December this year or next year. After days of shooting in Ooty for Sadak 2 with father Mahesh Bhatt and sister Pooja Bhatt, Alia Bhatt announced the scheduled wrap of the film via her Instagram account. After months of hard work and practice, shooting for Varun Dhawan's star Street Dancer 3D has finally come to an end, and the film is all set to hit theatres on 24th of January next year. Siddharth Malhotra and Parineeti Chopra star Jabariya Jodi, which already faced multiple shifts in its release date, has once again been pushed ahead by a week and will now hit the big screens on 9th August instead of 2nd August earlier. On Sanjay Dutt's 60th birthday, fans were treated with his first look from the upcoming film KGF Chapter 2. The movie will feature Sanjay as Adhira and will mark Dutt's foray into South Indian cinema. Hrithik Roshan's Super 30 received overwhelming response from the moviegoers and has raked in a total of 113 crore rupees so far. Anand Kumar opened up and praised Hrithik for his wonderful acting in the film. Purna Jagannathan, who starred as Nicole Kidman's lawyer on the season 2 of Big Little Lies, said that the last-minute changes brought in the season finale left the door open on something and hints at season 3 of the hit show. Meryl Streep will be the first recipient of Toronto International Film Festival's first acting award. The actress is the most nominated actor in Academy Award history and has won the Oscar 3 times. Annie Hathaway is all set to star in Amazon Prime's new romantic comedy series Modern Love that will start streaming on the 18th of October. The ongoing controversy over Michael Jackson's documentary Leaving Neverland might get MTV to remove his name from the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award presented during the Video Music Awards. Naomi Watts is going to be a part of the Game of Thrones prequel, and while revealing the news, she said she's super thrilled to join great people and be a part of the show. Disney's live-action Aladdin has crossed $1 billion mark, making it Will Smith's biggest hit ever to enter the club. The movie released on 24th May and is still running in the theatres. A record-breaking French hot air balloon event held in France, in which 500 balloons took off in less than an hour. The event was the biggest of its kind as it took over the previous world record of 433 balloons in the flight, which was set in 2017. Spectacular eruptions from Mount Etna lit up the sky and rivers of smoking red lava streamed down the slope of the new southeast crater. Impressive activity from Europe's tallest volcano drew tourists and local residents to watch in the Mediterranean island of Sicily. Digits at the Ready, a public house in eastern England, hosted an annual World Thumb Wrestling Championship. The unusual sport is played in rounds at the Locks Inn pub in Suffolk on a wooden board that resembles a small wrestling ring. The 11th World Thumb Wrestling Championship saw a participation of 24 adults and 8 children. To beat the heat, an innovative street food popcorn cooled by liquid nitrogen has gained popularity in Osaka in Japan as high temperatures continue to scorch many areas in the hot summer. The cold drink named Frozen Popcorn is recently launched by a store in Osaka that has attracted many customers to come every day. Lucy Taylor, the voice of Disney's much-loved Minnie Mouse character, died at the age of 75. Apart from her work for Disney, Taylor also appeared in countless other cartoon roles, including that of Martin Prince in The Simpsons. China's Giant Panda National Park has helped boost the population of giant pandas. The 27,000 square kilometer national park for giant pandas is a paradise for breeding giant panda cubs. The airlight show created by 1,100 drones brought to the zenith the celebration of the Torch Festival in southwest China town of Xi'an. The Torch Festival is the biggest festival of China's minority Yi people. Life-size sculptures made of butter honoring the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing are on display at the Ohio State Fair in Columbus. It features Ohio native Neil Armstrong, the first human to step foot on the moon, as well as fellow astronaut Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins. And with that, it's a wrap on the Express News this evening. Thanks for being with us.